guys, welcome back to the Arsenal save. Hopefully the majority of you are coming back after our disgusting result in the Europa League yesterday. If you missed it, you need to watch it, purely just because you'll get some enjoyment out of it. I didn't, but I'm sure you guys thoroughly enjoyed it. Today we start with Brighton, which is actually now a game in hand because it's being played a day later, meaning if we win, we can go into the top four again. It's a real battle going on at the minute between ourselves, Leicester, Spurs. Chelsea are involved as well. Manchester United right there too. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 teams involved in the push for 2 Champions League spots. Liverpool and City going hell for leather for the title, although City can go 6 points clear should they win their game in hand. Liverpool have had a little bit of a wobble. We've had a bit of a wobble of our own in the Europa League. After, of course, winning the first leg, we lost the second leg, 5-1, and I'm out. So today we have Brighton away, need a win. Then it's Chelsea away in the FA Cup midweek. Now, the top 4 has to be the priority at this stage, but being in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, you want to really put some emphasis on that as well, really, don't you? And then it's Newcastle at home in the league as well, which hopefully we can get a decent result from. I will show you the... I have to do it from the standing screen. Show the other games in the FA Cup at this stage. I believe we're in the quarterfinals now. 5th round. No, it's the round of 16 still. City Norwich, Newcastle Sunderland. That's a hell of a game. Chelsea Arsenal. That's a hell of a game. Spurs West Brom. Brentford, Man United, Burnley, Fulham, Everton, Bristol City, and Liverpool, Wickham. Imagine if Wickham pull that off. So the FA Cup chance is still very much alive, albeit more difficult than it was against Chelsea. But let's start on the front foot and keep ploughing forward, please. 3 points to start, cup progression, 3 points to end. That's the plan. Let's execute that plan. Drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save, please. Continually, it really helps support the content and the channel. Please leave your feedback in the comment section as well. Constantly trying to evaluate what you guys are letting me know and implementing that into the save as well. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do make sure that you do so. Let me also say thank you to Henrik for joining the Patreon as well. Thank you very much indeed for doing so, my man. Your name has been on the end slate for a couple of videos now, both in this save and the My Player 2. So appreciate that, my man. Right, let's honour Henrik joining the Patreon by winning against Brighton, shall we? Down on the south coast against Brighton then, still playing their 3-4-2-1, which is very offensive in that Christmas tree style formation. Robert Sanchez in goal, Levi Colwill, Adam Webster and Lewis Dunk is their strongest centre-back trio, with Yunus Musa, new signing on the right-hand side, Pascal Gross and Enoch Mwepu still in the middle, with hat-trick hero from the weekend just gone, Leandro Trossard on the left, Romarinho and Undav sat either side of Ludovic Ayorke up top. Intriguing new signing there too. Estupinian on the bench, as well as Alexis McAllister, Danny Welbeck and Solly March. So they have options to call upon. I've rotated a bit. Thuram, Smith Rowe, Marquinhos and Ben White in. Keeping that game against Chelsea in the FA Cup in the back of my mind. And hopefully we can pick up 3 points here. A win puts us back in the top 4. Martinelli, receiver of the throw. Thuram's on the move. Emil Smith-Rowe's already had one chance. Thuram will look for him for another. Will get the free kick. He's in trouble. He's really in trouble. Pascal Gross sent off very early on in this game. Wiped out from behind, above the boot into the Achilles heel. And they're sacrificing a striker, Undav off and Solly March on. 10 minutes into this game. And Arsenal have a man advantage. Now, do I go for an absolute worldy free kick here with Yuri Tielemans? Let's try and knuckle it from here then. With a lot of power from Yuri Tielemans. Oh. Corner for Brighton. From Leandro Trossard. And up and... Oh, not up and away. Jesus Christ. Romarinho... Yeah, look. From open play, Romarinho's hair isn't loading properly. And he looks bald from the back. But in replays and... Yeah, look. There is number 9. Just here. Look. His hair's not loading properly. And he looks really, really strange. Here he is chasing after it. He definitely looks bored. I knew my eyes weren't deceiving me. And Mwepu into Ayorke, whose shot led to the corner and this passage of play. He's pretty physical, isn't he, Ayorke? And Mwepu's no slouch either. Marquinhos, oh, it's poor. Felt with ample... Oh my God, it's going to sneak in. I felt with ample pass power, we could have got that pass through there. Leandro Trossard buries it into the bottom corner. And Brighton take a 1-0 lead. Lovely flick. And, well, touch to set it. And should the keeper do better? Yes. That's a very simple answer. Yes, the keeper should do better. He gets across towards it. And he's actually there in perfect time with the dive to get the ball. He's just dived underneath it, that's all. The ball's right there, and he's dived underneath it and missed it. Thanks, Aaron. That's why I pay you the big bucks. Note to self, if Aaron Ramsdale asks for a raise with a contract, don't give it to him. Zinchenko into the middle to Yuri Tielemans. And there is Marquinhos, and Thuram is in again. And this time, on target, struck well, but the goalkeeper in the way still. Martinelli will lift this, and we'll try and find Thuram this time. And we do! Oh, but Sanchez makes a comfortable enough save. It was nodded actually quite well towards the bottom corner. Tierney will win that twice, and Tomiyasu will look to get it to Marquinhos, who has Yuri Tielemans making a great run. And in the middle is Thuram again. Oh! And Smith Rowe misses the target. Accidentally double pressed pass. And Thuram played the ball on, but still it was a good opportunity. But unfortunately, still, against the 10 men of Brighton that I'd forgotten about, we continue to trail. We might be trailing by 2 soon. Ayorke, tackled by Saliba, corner Brighton. Martinelli is on the halfway line looking to counter. Wouldn't let me change player. 2-0 to 10-man Brighton. And I feel hard done by there. Quite frankly, wouldn't let me change player to the man underneath it, so I couldn't challenge for it. At half-time, we've had more shots. Our XG is 2.4. That's how good a chance we've created, but we haven't scored yet. We are comfortably the better side, and at the minute, comfortably behind. Marquinhos looking for Thuram. There is Smith Rowe. And here is Martinelli. Was never going to miss that. In front of those travelling Arsenal fans, we are back in the game and on we push. Relatively straightforward goal, that one. Now, if I could do that 2 more times, that would be lovely. Could have gone on with Smith Rowe, but it was the right thing to do to wait for the free man. We're back in the game. Come on. Keep it going. And Wepu through the gap. Finds Romarinho. Ball out wide here to Trossard. Tomiyasu in the way. Look at Gabi Jesus. Their defence split apart. Martinelli arriving again. And will cut onto his right. Play the pass. And Emil Smith Rowe does get his goal. Robert Sanchez can only help that onto the post. And it's 2-2 at the Amex. Just couldn't find enough space, really, for anyone to shoot. But keeper absolutely unsighted there with 2 defenders in front of him. He had no idea where that ball was going to be. And in the end, can't react quickly enough to get enough on it to get it around the post. We are level in the 71st minute. And with 20 minutes effectively, including stoppage left, there is absolutely time for a winner here. 10-man Brighton having a Europa League Arsenal-esque potential collapse here. Dunk. Lofty. Can Saliba get to that? It's Ben White actually that's underneath it. And the answer is yes, he can get to that. Yuri Tielemans. I look for Gabi Jesus here, who's made a great run. His positioning superb. Question is he onside? Answer, yes he is. We are in front at the Amex. I'm sorry, Brighton, but we've turned that around. We've had a couple of tests of character in career mode this year, in this save and the My Player. And on the back of that Inter Milan result at the end of the last episode, I really needed to show us a sign of character. And to be honest, the 2-0 lead for Brighton didn't dictate or didn't display the overall flow of the game anyway. The story of this game has been all Arsenal. It just so happens that Brighton was somehow able to get themselves a 2-0 lead, which I'm still feel pretty aggrieved about, particularly the second. But it is what it is. We've got the lead now. We just need to make sure we don't lose it, please. Saliba with a diving header clear. But there is a free kick in there for something. Might have been a push. Might have been handball. Might have been offside. Regardless, there are now 3 minutes to go between us and what will be, or should be, a deserved 3-point haul, he says, as Trossard looks down the line. Tomiyasu trying to get there and does very well to win the header against the man whose hair just doesn't seem to want to load properly. Well, Marquinhos has tried to nod that to his teammate and inadvertently given Brighton a corner by heading it 20 times too hard. Here we go. Are you ready for the Brighton equaliser? Because I can feel it coming. If it was FIFA 22, I'd have said it was definitely guaranteed, nailed on. Let's see what FIFA 23 is like in the last few minutes. Better. No scripting here, thank you very much. Arsenal 3, Brighton 2. Though it did feel a little bit scripted with the way that it wouldn't let me change plan earlier on. But that's not really scripting. That's just the gameplay failing to be any good. We win by 3-2 and turn around a 2-goal, 10-man deficit. And we do get 3 points. And we are back into the top 4. Although we certainly made hard work of that, didn't we? A recovery day followed by a rest day. And now it's time to face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the round of 16 of the FA Cup. Chelsea with their 5-2-3. Edouard Mendy in goal. James, Chalobah, Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. Chilwell on the left-hand side with Havertz and Kante in the middle. Mount wide right with Aubameyang up top through the middle and Raheem Sterling on the left. Options on the bench are very good, including new signing Luis Muriel. Aubameyang tackled. Of course, it's huge here. Huge story, him playing against his former side. He did score against us when we played against Chelsea last time as well. I mean, that's a fact. Saka's actually down hurt from that as well, and the referee has not even batted an eyelid. Ben Chilwell has absolutely flattened Bukayo Saka here. The ball goes, Chilwell then slides in, and Saka is caught late. You can see him screaming out in pain, and does a front flip, and stays down hurt. If he has to come off, and the referee, he is going to have to come off. I can't believe it. And Chilwell has gotten away with that scot-free. He's absolutely hammered my player, injured him, and the referee's like, that's fine. Are you sure, ref? Reece Nelson coming on in his place. That's not a great start, is it? Unbelievable. Hopefully Reece Nelson can do something. But Bukayo Saka, we're not sure how long he's going to be out for. I don't know where he was injured. He initially looked like he was holding his shoulder from open play. Then in the cutscene, looked like he was holding his knee. Kante. Oh, he got a little bit hasty there with his acceleration. His touch was a bit heavy, but I couldn't quite get there with Gibraltar. Kante driven at Sterling, but keeps the play alive with a nice first-time pass. This is good from Chelsea. You can read it coming. He just can't seem to stop it at the minute. In the way, in the end, and Saliba will just get rid. Now, if I could nod this down, we could have been away. So, it's a nice ball to Reece Nelson, who will look to utilise his pace up against Chilwell and Thiago Silva. But he's slow to do anything, Reece Nelson. Wouldn't accelerate, wouldn't turn. Put me in a real awkward position there, and that's going to be half-time at 0-0. Everything in this game so far, apart from goals. Gusto. Quick 1-2 with Saliba, trying to manipulate the Chelsea line so that players get out of position. So into Nelson. Back to Gibraltar So again, who's in a great position here. Gabby Jesus had to sort his positioning out. And as such, look at all the Chelsea men behind the ball here. It's going to be so difficult to try and find a way past. Reece Nelson is down the line, but I can't be confident that he's onside. ODEGAARD into the middle. Zinchenko quickly through to Gabby Jesus. He's just got a back five up against him. Nowhere to go with the ball and no one to pass to either. I am struggling to break down Chelsea's defence here. Chilwell is off. Aubameyang not as fast as he used to be, thankfully. Sterling as fast as he ever has been. But Gusto deals with it well. Chilwell with a throw back. An hour played here. And impossible to pick a winner. Give that into ODEGAARD, who will look for Jesus. I think the only option I have is catch them on the counter. But to do that, I have to encourage them onto me. And I risk giving away a goal in doing so. But I think that's the only way I'm going to find a way past their backline is by letting them attack. It is a very risky game plan, but it's the only one I can think of that will actually see us scoring a goal to win this game. Gabby Martinelli up against Reece James for pace. It's too tight to call, so we'll have to cut back. By doing so, now Chelsea have got a defensive shape again. So to Odegaard. Go on then. Zinchenko through that gap. Lovely ball. Genius from Martin Odegaard. That might just send us through to the FA Cup quarter-final. It's all about the assist. Zinchenko, I think his first goal scored for me. But that assist was genius from Martin Odegaard. To play it behind the defender, completely wrong foot their defence. See, Trevor Chalobah just didn't know which way to go. Zinchenko with a brilliant run. Don't discount the movement of the midfielder there as well. And on his left foot, slams it past an on-rushing Edouard Mendy into the back of the net. And we have 1 foot in the 74th minute in a FA Cup quarter-final. Now then, fresh legs to be called upon to try and hold on to it as well. Havertz with the ball over the top. Reece James brings it down. Kante, Mount. Got to hold on to this now. It's a nice bit of movement for Reece James. A good positioning too. Sterling to Aubameyang. This is dangerous. Mount. Kante's got to be offside there, Sterling. Surely he wasn't. The timing of the run and the pass, unbelievable. Christian Pulisic coming on for Ben Chilwell, so surely a change in formation for Chelsea there. They're not going to play Pulisic at left wing back, are they? Surely not. That's going to deflect free, but not deflect free enough for me to be able to get there. Mason Mount in the box. Do not give away a penalty, Ches. But also don't concede. Ramsdale makes the save. He keeps it out. 8 minutes to go. Kai Havertz with the corner. Muriel on for Sterling. There's got to be a change in formation, surely, from Chelsea now with Aubameyang and Muriel on the field. Let's have a look. Yeah, they've gone 3-4-3, but with a kind of 1-2-1... 3-1-2-1-3 almost, that is, isn't it? Muriel on the left, Aubameyang up top, Havertz on the right, Mount at cam, Pulisic left mid, James right mid, Kante CDM, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva and Chalobah still as the back three. It's an outrageous formation, but they'll be hoping that it's one that can send them through to the next round of the FA Cup. But at the minute, they trail. And I think I've got one more change I can make. Let's throw Thuram on and just try and hold the ball up with him up top and ensure that we get this dub. In fact, Gabby Jesus has got loads of space here. Oh, and if he could have just brought that down against Christian Pulisic, I could have been in for a second. And N'Golo Kante has given the ball away. Pulisic and Kante cost themselves the FA Cup opportunity for Chelsea this season. Gabby Jesus punishes the mistake. And N'Golo Kante gifting possession away. And it's normally his role to win it back. Bittersweet irony for the tiny little Frenchman. And he's just not good enough there. Gabby picks his pocket and with a power shot, just making sure. Slammed home. Jesus now coming off for Marcus Thuram. But we are going to get ourselves through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup here. We had to work very hard against Brighton. We've had to work equally as hard against Chelsea. But we will get 2 wins from our first 2 games today. Now I'd like a bit of a more straightforward game against Newcastle at home, please, in the final game that we're going to play today. Because I'm getting pretty exhausted mentally trying to deal with everything that we're dealing with in these games so far. Having to concentrate so hard for so long for the full 90 minutes in each game. But we are going to get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. And we will still have the chance of winning some silverware this year. Get in! Bring on the Magpies! Up the Reds! City Norwich 1-0. Newcastle Sunderland 4-1. That's bragging rights in a derby, isn't it? Spurs 3-0 against West Brom. Burnley go to penalties against Fulham and win. Brentford 2, Manchester United 1. So maybe that draw against them in the last episode wasn't actually that bad a result. Bristol City go to Goodison Park and win. And Wickham did take Liverpool to extra time there. That is 4-2 AET. It was 2-2 at full time. We'll have our post-match press conference to keep morale high. We didn't just win the game, we did it in style. We're going to take some stopping in this competition, that's for sure. If I can get Bristol City in the next round, I'll be very happy indeed. Now, we do have a plan B if Saka's out for a little while, but we're not sure how long he's out for. I think I just glanced 2 months in that question, or in that response from my manager. We'll see if that's correct or not in a moment. Bukayo Saka, matches rescheduled for the FA Cup. It is a dislocated shoulder and he's out for 2 months. Bukayo Saka may well miss the rest of the entire season, will he? all of March, all of April. No, Bukayo Saka will have a part to play at the end of the season, but for the time being, he is out of the starting lineup and on the sidelines for a considerable period of time. Emil Smith-Rowe will have the opportunity to get himself into the starting lineup and have a fair old crack at it. But we'll wait and see if he can fit the bill. Up next for us in 4 days' time, a recovery day, a rest day, and a little bit of training in between. Newcastle at home in the Premier League, and we are back in the top 4. The 11 for Newcastle. Very tight midfield three, as you can see, with Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, Sven Botman, Fabian Schär, and Matt Targett behind them. That midfield three is Sean Longstaff, Haidara, and Joe Willock, with then Miguel Almiron wide right, Alan Saint-Maximin wide left, and new signing Raul Jimenez up top at striker. They do have an also 82 rated Alexander Isak on the bench, as well as Bruno Guimaraes to call upon from the subs bench if they feel like they need to. But with 5 substitutes available to you in the Premier League, it would be silly not to use players of those quality at some point if you have the opportunity to. So I fully expect them perhaps both to make it off the bench in this game. We are, as you would expect us to be for this one, except for the Granit Xhaka introduction and, of course, the Bukayo Saka injury, frustratingly. Tomiyasu up against Saint-Maximin. Just letting him know he's there. Just letting him know he's there. Oh, go on. I'll help you up, shall I? I actually kind of broke his legs a little bit there. Yellow card for Tomiyasu right off the bat. Maybe that will make Alan Saint-Maximin think twice about standing up Tomiyasu, although to be fair, Tomiyasu now on a yellow card, it actually makes it a little bit awkward. I wanted to try and put the challenge in, get away with it, and then be able to kind of have the psychological advantage over Saint-Maximin for the rest of the game. As it happens, now Tomiyasu is going to be on the back foot psychologically for the rest of the game because Saint-Maximin can just sprint at him knowing that Tomiyasu can't really touch him. It nearly worked. Or at least the theory was sound, but the execution, I evidently got a little bit wrong. Odegaard's making a good run. Can Jesus replicate Odegaard's brilliant pass? Yes, he can. Arsenal 1, Newcastle 0. Gabby Jesus is our top goal scorer, but he can provide as well. Ja, Gunners, ja! 1-0. 1-0, should I say, in Mesut Ozil. It's a heavy touch from Miggy Almiron. Really much better than that, and he knows it too. Granit Xhaka motoring away at seemingly half speed. Martinelli whips it in. Oof. Good attempts from Emil Smith-Rowe. I didn't think I put that much power on it, really. Gabby's up. Sven Botman is too. Back to Xhaka. Shouldn't have taken the shot, should I? Shouldn't have taken the shot. Saint-Maximin. He's been quiet, actually. To be fair, he has been quiet, but it's more because Newcastle haven't had much of the ball than it is he's intimidated by Tomiyasu now. I will go out wide again. And we will try and tuck it back again. And Odegaard, good first touch. Oh, and very nearly the finish too. Forward into Tielemans. We'll go Odegaard. Okay, we won't go Odegaard. We'll go Gabby Martinelli because he's opened up a little bit. And he'll cut inside and he'll look for a worldie. And if Nick Pope wasn't as tall as he is, then maybe we'd have had one. 1-0 advantage at half-time. Hell of a header from Granit Xhaka. 1-0 advantage at half-time. But only thanks to Nick... Oh, hang on. It might be. It might be 2. Looking for Martinelli through the gap. 1-0 advantage at half-time. And dominant in the game so far. But I want that second goal just to make sure. But Odegaard certainly with a satisfactory first half. Trippier with a first-time ball that is not very good. And now... he's a bit out of position, Kieran Trippier. And Gabby Martinelli is going to wrong foot Sven Botman and look to play through Martin Odegaard, who's in again and doesn't score again. Fabian Schär does brilliantly. Oh, I'm tempted. On a yellow. I had to make sure I got that. Alexander Isak is coming on for them now. Like Miguel Almiron had 2 black eyes then. I think he just had super spectacular eyelashes from that camera angle. Isak to cause us problems. And now they've got Isak and Raul Jimenez on the ball. That's 2 very good physical presences up top. One of which, in Isak, is pretty damned capable in a straight line as well. And very good at dribbling too. You can see how he's bossing Kieran Tierney there. And not many people have bossed Kieran Tierney this season. Certainly something to keep an eye on. Go on, Gabby. You've beaten him. He's had Kieran Tierney on toast all game. What a ball. Get there, Gabriel. Well up, son. That'll be game. Oh, that was supposed to go to Zinchenko. That will not be game. Raul Jimenez to Haidara. Get there, Gabriel. Well up. Oh, it's still not game, though, is it? Oh, no. It's not. Ah! Ramsdale! The animation strikes again. Newcastle get a late equaliser with a shot that's not very powerful and not very accurate. But the goalkeeper can't keep it out. You saw it coming. Kieran Tierney, right next to Raul Jimenez as well, watching him make the run and makes no attempts to get anywhere near him. And the finish is really easy to deal with for the keeper, but it's FIFA 23 goalkeepers. So, just a point for us at home then against the Magpies. Despite dominating the entire game, we will not get 3 points unless Marquinhos comes up with something worldy. And what he decides to do is run off the pitch before he crosses it. Hello, Freddie Ljungberg. You're back again. Well, that's annoying, isn't it? We battered them all game long. Just couldn't find that second goal, and ultimately, that's why you need the second goal. Because you can't trust the game or your goalkeepers to make the right save at the right time, unfortunately. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup. Quarter-final is next against Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium. And actually, that point moves us up to third. We could have been further away. Spurs must have lost. Who did Spurs have? Tottenham had Aston Villa at home and lost. Sorry, Aston Villa away and lost. Well, maybe it's not such a bad point after all. We are third now, a point clear of Tottenham and a point clear of Leicester City. However, Chelsea can come up to 53 points should they win their game in hand, which is against Nottingham Forest away from home. And they'll go above us on goal difference if they win it as well. And I believe that's... it's next week, is it, in-game, actually? I don't think that's immediately, is it? No. It was on, like, the 10th. So the weekend that we're playing in the FA Cup, the other sides will play their game in hand. And then it will be Aston Villa after that for us. So Brentford, then Villa. Hopefully an FA Cup semi-final after that at Wembley. If not... Tottenham Hotspur, to be fair, even if we do win that FA Cup quarter-final, the semi will probably come post-Tottenham anyway. Around about here-ish, I would have thought. Regardless, we are still looking good for a top 4 finish, and we are still looking good for a chance to win the FA Cup. So, domestically, so far so good. And we'll just forget about that Inter game, shall we? We've put it behind us. I don't know why I'm even mentioning it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed and you're continuing to enjoy this save. Make sure you're subscribed with a notification bell ticked and you won't miss any more of this or the My Player. More of that coming to you later on this evening as well. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you either on stream or here on YouTube very soon.